Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast, Podapalooza version. Yes, we are doing Podapalooza again, and I am so excited to have my guest, Mr. Scott Ertl, on. And let me tell you a little bit about Scott. He has begun his career as a comedy magician and juggler. As a goodwill ambassador, he toured Russia, Denmark, Estonia, and with Patch Adams. Awesome. And after performing comedy magic, easy for me to say, juggling for 11 years and over 3,000 circus and stage audiences, he ran away from the circus to join a school as opposed to the other way around. Since 1996, he has enjoyed working as an elementary school counselor to help children develop goals and learn how to turn their stumbling blocks into stepping stones. He's trained over 2,500 counselors, teachers, and other leaders to facilitate play shops and parent-child retreats throughout the U.S. As one of the crowning achievements, he developed progress cards as a way to record effective strategies for specific behaviors and issues. He's recorded effective tips, techniques that have helped hundreds of children deal with divorce, friendships, death of a loved one, and bullying. As a popular keynote speaker, he has shared his creative and cooperative counseling skills at conferences throughout the U.S. Please join me in welcoming my guest, Scott Ertl. What
Thank you, Vicki.
Great background you have. My goodness. So first of all, what led you to say, I'm done with comedy, I'm going to go into the school systems and make a difference?
So I really enjoyed working as a circus clown and comedy magic and juggler for all those years. I did it in the summers when to pay my way through college and grad school. But I always knew that humor and play and creativity were something that I would use with me for the rest of my life. And I'm looking forward to always having that kind of in my back pocket, because I think, if life is not fun, it's not worth it,
Yeah.
So when folks are not feeling that life is not worth it for them, I like to try to help them find a way to make it fun.
Yeah.
And whether it was as a school counselor or whether it was, by leading different workshops for teachers or counselors, or even now with my app that I created, it's always about ways to kind of make life fun and more meaningful.
Awesome. So whenever you went into the schools, and I'm a wife of a past teacher, my daughter's a teacher. Actually, she now teaches teachers how to be more innovative and creative. I work with the youth, middle school and high schoolers, to teach them public speaking and leadership. So I know that we need people like you to be able to teach not only the children, but the parents how to cope. So talk about, at a parent-child retreat, what type of curriculum or events do you have?
Sure. I absolutely love facilitating parent-child retreats, because it's like the ultimate joy to be able to provide actionable, meaningful ways to make a difference. For example, most families across the United States, throughout the world, really struggle in the mornings whether it's getting out of bed on time, eating your breakfast, getting on the school bus, or bringing you to school without having, too much stress and too much,
Mm-hmm.
threats and stuff like that. So part
Yeah.
of the parent-child retreat is coming up with a plan to make it fun. How can we have some music tomorrow morning? How can we make it easier for tomorrow morning to make less decisions? Maybe we're going to set our clothes out early. Maybe we're going to go to bed earlier. Maybe we're going to pack our lunch earlier. Maybe we're going to decide on our breakfast the night before. So all these proactive steps that we can do make tomorrow morning's morning routine so much easier. I developed something I call the windshield wiper phenomenon. What I mean by that is when it's pouring down raining and I realize that my windshield wipers are no good, that's the last time I want to be outside changing my windshield wipers. But when
Yeah.
it's a beautiful sunny day, and it'll be a perfect day to change my windshield wipers, I don't think about it. So what happens is I get another rainy day and I'm slamming on my head, like, why didn't I change my windshield wipers yesterday when it was sunny? So what I like to do with the parent-child retreats is to help parents and kids use those sunny days to change their windshield wipers instead of continuing to try to complain and be stressful and aggravated, and then later on they're feeling guilty for having yelled at their kids or rushed their
Yeah.
kids or been mad at whatever it was, because rainy days happen. But we don't have to look through the streaky windshield. We can change those windshield wipers on a sunny day by being proactive and coming up with fun and creative and positive ways to set ourselves up for more success. Whether it's having the music in the mornings, or whether it's planning some kind of fun activity that we can look forward to having a heart connection on Thursday night when it's just you and me. That we can have our daddy and daughter date night.
Yeah. Nice. So what are some, you talk on your website, which is a great website, about engaging creative and cooperative techniques to promote kinesthetic learning. So share a little bit, break that down a little bit on how you do that to help the people who visit you or work with you.
Sure. So when I was a school counselor, many times I would see kids wandering up and down the hallways because they asked their teacher if they could use the bathroom. And once they got out of the classroom, they wanted to stay out of the classroom, whether it was wandering the halls or get a drink of water or running an errand up to the office to drop off a message, and those kids would oftentimes kind of get in trouble. And then I would end up talking to them to find out, what's going on. And they would just tell me, Mr. Ertl, I hate sitting in school. It's so boring. It's so frustrating to be able to sit still for this many hours. So 10 years ago, I invented these things called bouncy bands, and they attached to a desk or chair so kids could bounce their feet or stretch their legs on their desk and be able to get that extra movement that they needed without having to get out away from their desk. So it became a really incredible product that sold millions and did a phenomenal job. And I'm no longer part of the company. I've sold that off. And what I've decided to do is to be able to put my money into making life a better for all people, not just kids that are feeling anxious or restless or irritable and needing some relief, but being able to give all people some positive relief in their life. And the way that I'm doing it, it's something called the Buoy App. And the Buoy App is a way for folks to be able to take those positive messages that are floating around in their phone, but sometimes they float away. Maybe you get that positive voicemail and now it's buried in your phone, or you got that positive text message and it's buried in your phone, or that positive video, and all these things that we have most of the times, but sometimes they just kind of float away. So the Buoy app is to put everything in one place so it rises to the top in your phone. So when you're needing some relief or encouragement or some positivity or just some fun, maybe you just need a laugh and you want to look at your daughter or grandson giggling, and that can provide you with some relief to kind of get through that conference call that you're getting ready to jump on. Or maybe you need to pep yourself up before you step out on stage. Or maybe you want to remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing, when you need to make a hard decision. So these kind of pep talks or encouraging words or positive videos or voicemails, or even something that you want to tell yourself. You're able to
Mhm.
put it in the Buoy app, which is a free app for everybody, to be able to have things in one place, to be able to rise to the top instead of drowning, when you're feeling like you just can't take it anymore.
That's awesome. So
Mm.
you talked a little bit about fun ways to do things, and I think that's great. So we as adults, as entrepreneurs, have to really, to get things done, we need to create goals and objectives. And then when we create the goals, we have to make them SMART goals. So we have to measure them. We have to make sure that they are trackable. And it also helps us recognize when we have the small wins that lead up to those big goals. So what are some fun ways that we could be able to create goals and track them and monitor our success?
Fun goals. That's an oxymoron for most people. Because most people, they don't like goals. They don't like being held accountable. They don't like being told what to do. They don't like being reminded that they are slacking. So mindset's going to be the first way to change that around, and
Yeah.
to remind themselves of what do they want, what do they really want, instead of what should they really do. So if we can change our mindset around to what do I really want, that's going to give us more excitement. And from that excitement, we'll have the energy, hopefully, to be able to follow through on doing those things that we really want to have
Yeah.
done. Sometimes we don't want to write the book; we just want to have the book. So if writing the book is the hurdle that we're having to jump through, let's look at the chapters that we can break it down and think about what are the different topics that we want to talk about that are going to be helpful, or what are the different
Yeah.
parts of this story that are going to be fun to write about. And then it makes it more achievable and easier and more fun to actually accomplish. But I personally, and I know lots of people like me that just don't like goals, and like the pressure or the mindset behind that, of being something that's um, proof that I'm not where I'm at, not where I want to be at.
Hmm. I know in my last several years of being at the large company that I retired from, there was the whole thing of training needed to be gamified so that it would be more enjoyable, and also um, the setting the goals too was gamified. And so I guess it was really to address that newer generation that are all into video games and things. So are there any tools that you use that gamify making goals but not calling them goals?
Nothing wrong with calling them goals if you don't mind, that word. If I
Mhm.
look at things that I want to do, and if I can call that a goal, that's awesome. So anything that I find fun, and maybe just brainstorming that list, whether it's woodworking or tennis or bike riding or kayaking, or taking a walk with my dog, you know, um, going to see a comedy show with my wife, anything that's
Mhm.
fun, then I can say, okay, what can I match up with those things to help accomplish some things that I want to have? So if there's a podcast that I wanted to be listening to each week, if I can match that up with taking my dog for a walk, I get to have the fun walk, get the exercise, but also get the intellectual stimulation of being able to listen to that podcast. Maybe I need to do something that's not as fun. Maybe I need to write down the different chapters or different ideas of that book that I want to work on. How can I create a fun way to do that? Well, maybe if I'm riding my stationary bike, I can have my notepad on my hand, and during the movement of riding the bike, I'll be able to kind of create some brainstorming sessions of what chapters I might want to put in that book. Because just sitting at the desk, sometimes that paralysis,
Mhm.
is hard to break through. But if I have
Yeah.
that movement from the bike riding, for example, can kind of get the momentum going or get the juices flowing, so I can start actually jotting down different ideas. So whatever's fun for you is usually going to be a good thing to match up with what you need to get done. So whatever's fun, match it up with something that you want to get done. And
If
it
it's
makes it
fun, you'll get it done. Yeah, there you go. All right, it is time now for us to just start to wrap up. But in these last few minutes, how do we connect with you?
Sure. The best way is through the Buoy app. And the Buoy app is BUOY, thebuoyapp.com. So it's thebuoyapp.com. And with that app, you're able to download it for free, whether it's on your Android or iOS. And it's a great platform for you to have on your phone to be able to store any kind of voicemail, text message, or even a voicemail that you want to save, and be able to always have those positive messages on your phone in one place when you need some extra encouragement. And one of the neat things about the voicemails, maybe you have a voicemail from somebody that's passed, or maybe they're still alive, which is great. You can overlay an image of that person while you're listening to the voicemail. So it's a special feature that we have to be able to have that double, connection with that person while you're hearing their loving messages. So
Awesome.
the buoyapp.com is a great way to kind of have that positivity in your life, when you need it most.
All right. And so do you have a free gift that you're giving those listeners today?
Yes, that free gift is the Buoy app. It's a free app that anybody can download.
Perfect.
So if you can go to the Android or iPhone and be able to download that. And on our website, it gives you direct links, so you don't have to search for it.
Very good. So again, the website is
thebuoyapp.com, and Buoy is spelled BUOY, thebuoyapp.com.
awesome. All right. So if you want to get that app, I'm going to get that app. I think that's a cool thing. And when you're when you do your voicemail, when you go into the app, do you kind of pull over the voicemail? How do you get the voicemail from one place to the other?
Yeah. So if whatever kind of existing content you have on your phone, you're able to upload it right directly to the Buoy app,
Awesome.
as well as be able to send things through the Buoy app. And anybody that you send it to, they don't have to have the app in order to receive or send or open your content. The app is simply a place to store it for everybody that wants it to have quick access, instead of having to search, where was that email that Vicki sent? Where was that text message that my daughter sent me? Where is that? You have it all in one place. Makes it really easy.
That's awesome. Well, it has been such a pleasure talking with you today. Again, Scott Ertl has been our guest. And if you want to connect with him, go to thebuoy.com, right?
Thebuoyapp.com. That's right.
Thebuoyapp.com, and get that app for free. Excellent. So nice.
Thank you, Vicki.
Having you as my guest. And as always, I remind everyone that life is a journey, and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.